Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Years ago I planted a clump and well, it went really bad because, well, yeah, these trees were not ready so I planted them in this huge pot here. These are elms and this is a clump. So I'm going to get this out and now have a look. So after 2 or 3 years, I don't remember exactly, it should be something, well, quite big. So let's see. I'm going to get this out and then we'll see on the work table. If I remember well, these are 2 clumps, and yeah, it's not gonna be easy to separate that. And well, anyway, the trees are healthy, which is of course already a very good thing. And I cut them back in the autumn. And the thing that is interesting with elms is where you cut them back, exactly at that point you get new buds, and that's nice. That's one of the reasons why elms are so often used in broom styles, like other more foreign elms kinds, like the Zelkova, which is not an elm but is in the same botanical family, I think. So yeah, these trees are really great to make broom style trees, which is not exactly what I have in mind for this clump, but okay. First of all, I will have to separate this all, and it will take some time, that's obvious, but okay. It's a nice day in March here, sun is shining and I'm working on my trees, so how nice can it get? Okay, so I will continue this until I have something interesting to tell or to show, and I'll be right back. Well, it seems quite clear that there are 2 clumps, which I remembered I did. So one is planted on top of the other, which was of course a completely stupid idea, because now I need to get these separated. Yeah, well, that will teach me doing stupid things, so I'm going to continue. And yeah, well, let me see, I can move one and the other stays here. Well, yeah, of course all these roots are entangled now, so I'll have to get rid of most of the soil and then wash this out, and probably I'll get a better view then. So this could take some time, but it still is a sunny day and I'm still happy. So yes, I have now 4 entities. This is also one entity, but yeah, 1, 2, and then 3, which is a solitary tree, and then a 4th. Okay, so I think that I'm going to plant these ones back in the big pots. The little ones, I'm not sure. Okay, so well, anyway, I'm going to keep them aside here, and I'm going to try to put the 2 other ones in this tray, and therefore, well, I don't know. This is the thickest one in this group, and this is the thickest one in this group. So I should try. I'm wondering if I can make something like this with these guys in the back then, and well, I'm not sure. Maybe I can use the two little ones here and also plant them, which would create a quite impressive forest group clump thing. I don't know. So it's going to be a question of working on these roots to make it fit in this pot. So well, my first impression is that this is not bad at all, or even like this. No, I think that's the best. So sometimes you have to wiggle and try. So well, I'm going to reduce the roots here until it enters this pot. So I'm going to cut them this way. And elms, well, you don't have to be afraid to cut back roots on elms, because, well, that's not the big problem with these guys. Okay, so this will already work, and especially the very thick roots, they will have no purpose. So I can reduce that quite a little. So here I have one too high. So you see where the tree is green, it's where it was planted. So this was outside of the soil, this was inside of the soil. So this is a crossing root, which is not nice. Get rid of that. This also crosses, but I can probably rearrange it, which makes it quite interesting. Little root here, I will put under that one. So I think that this is already starting to be possible. So, because this is a clump, every root sustains every tree. So I think that's one. This is going to work. And then this one, here we have a very big root growing down, so we cannot have that, that's impossible. A lot of fine roots, which is very good. Another big one here going down. And then lots of small ones. And this is going to be too long. Certainly up to here. So I said this way. Okay, then I need to get rid of some stuff on the outside of the pot. Like so. These are a little long too, but they'll have room to grow. Okay, and then we have this little one here. I'm only going to remove that root growing up. My scissors are not sharp. I think I cut too much stone and sand. And then we have this one, which has a nice radial root base here at the bottom, but there are also a few roots too high, and then we have this one here too low. And I think I can work with the rests. Okay. Well, this is still too low. So this sits in the pot. This one can sit in the pot too. This will work, I think. No, this is too much still. So let me get that. The rest I can tuck in, I think. And then we have the main tree that comes here. So let's have a look and come down a little. Well, I think that's quite cool. Maybe try to put this one a little more like this, so that we have an opening here, and then the little one in the back here, a little more in the center. This looks quite okay, and this looks quite okay. So let's pot this up. Of course we have trunks here crossing, that's not good, but need to fix that when I fill this up with soil, obviously. So let's do that. So for starters, let's take some substrate and then position the trees, not in a sloppy way like I did, but in a nice way now. Because when you add some soil, they will sit a little more comfortably, and you can start arranging the roots. So this is okay. I want this one to be a little more here in the back, so I need a little more soil, a little less soil here, yeah, or a little more soil there, which is of course the same. So this will work. I have to push some roots down, and then we have the second big group here, which is this, and here we have the biggest in the front, and these two, well, quite flexible still, so they can be repositioned and rewired. And then we have these two. So I'll first put this one in, okay, and then the bigger one here in the back. And let me see, this is a nice radial root base, so yeah, I think I'll take this as a front for this one. Okay, so now I just need to fill this up with soil and stuff, and then I'll be back. It's gonna take some time, obviously, because there are a whole lot of holes and cracks to fill. So let's just go to work. The trees are now covered in soil, but this is still a difficult moment in potting up a tree, because if you look at it from all angles, you see that the main tree here is leaning backwards, so that's not good. So the thing that you need to do when you finalize a repot like this is to position the trees where you really want them, and then you must start to work the soil in, so that when you are done with working the soil in, the tree stays where it is supposed to stay. And that's always a little complicated, and it's just holding the tree and working the soil in, and then you let the tree go and you see, well, it's better. Yeah, still a little more to go. And yeah, you are supporting the tree, as it were, from the bottom up. And lots of soil goes into a container like this. It's always amazing. So this is already much better. I'm quite happy with this tree. It leans a little bit too much towards the front, and I'd like to have it a little bit straighter and well to the back then. So again, holding the tree and working the soil in. And this takes a long time. But that looks much better. Yep. Now I see that this little one, it's a solitary one, looks like it's falling over, which is not the purpose. And this one should be a little more straight too, so that's why when you plant a tree or a complicated thing like this, it's always best to not go too high on the soil, because now you see, if I'm not pleased with it, I can pull it up a little, give it another direction, but then of course it's 1 centimeter higher than it previously was. And if you don't want your trees to look like they're planted up a mountain, well, that's something you should avoid. Overall, I'm quite happy. Still have some roots that are sticking out, and I'll try to counter that with some soil and some moss. But I think overall this looks quite okay. Let me have a look on the camera screen. Yeah, maybe this should come a little more to this side. Okay, so I'm going to finish this, and then we'll be back for mossing and of course the sandstone, because I decided to put a sandstone in every of my trees for no good reason at all, just because I like it. Yeah, I think that there's a little bit too much soil in this composition, but yeah, that's because you need to get the trees fixed, and once that they are fixed, you can just wait a couple of weeks and the roots start to grow down, and then they will grab into the soil, and with a brush during the growing season you can remove some of that soil. So again, I'm positioning some moss on the roots that are still exposed, which is not much. There's just a little one here, and then the rest will just be a question of adding some color. But I think this looks quite okay. Looks like a little forest, but in fact it is a clump. So yeah, probably I'll treat this as a forest in the future. Maybe this tree should come a little more to the back, but there's not a whole lot I can do, because
it's fixed to this one, so probably I'll have to wire these two together and give that one a movement, but that's something that I will do after the growing season, because yeah, you don't want any scarring. That would be a shame. And now, well, it's time to let this grow, and that's gonna be it. So let's end this video with a little 360. How many trees are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then if we count that, that's not really a tree, but it will become one. That's 11, so it's an uneven number. Not that it really matters, but some purists like it. I'm not a purist, so I don't really care, but okay. So, well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.